What's going on? Casa here with the first video of the new year. Not sure about you guys, but I really feel like this is going to be the year of prosperity for not only myself but for everyone else in the world. We deserve it. 2020 was crazy, and I feel like 2021, with the new year here, we all deserve all the prosperity and all the happiness in the world. So, with that being said, really quick, I am flirting with 300 subs at the moment. Now, as it stands, I, released a video recently where I was just like, hopefully we can get to 1,000 subscribers by my birthday. I know that that's just over a month away. I'm still pretty optimistic. I feel like if we really work hard and get the word out about my channel, we can get to 1,000 subs pretty easily. Okay. Um, me getting almost 300 subs uh, was both a surprise and a blessing because I only started really pushing for I only started really making content for this channel literally you know in the fall going into the winter. um so yeah, to those of you who have subscribed, thank you so much. Your support is thoroughly appreciated. And if you're new to the channel and if you enjoy my content, I would sincerely appreciate it if I can get a subscription, and go ahead and hit the like button as well. All the support does nothing but help my channel grow. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the video. This video, the premise of this video is going to be a little, I'm gonna start off with a, real quick FAQ, and then I'll get into a real quick breakdown of a couple of my builds. Okay, so I've got three questions that I'm being asked on a regular basis. Will you upload your save? How do you modify your equipment? And the third one is in regards to is a segue from the second one in regards to quick codes. Okay, what are the quick codes and stuff like that? So for the first question, will I upload my save? No, I'm not gonna upload my save. The reason why I'm not gonna upload my save is simply because I feel like everyone can learn how to use advanced mode. Everyone who subscribed to my channel can use advanced mode and modify their equipment themselves. If you can use YouTube, if you can use a cell phone, you can use Save Wizard Advanced Mode and you can learn how to modify your gear. I know it might sound like, I'm trying to be a butthead or whatever the case is, but the fact of the matter is, I've put in a lot of hours into this game. And it's almost insulting when someone hops into the comments and immediately is just like, give me your save. You know, it's somewhat insulting because it's just like I I've put in hours. I'm just not making builds. I'm actually playing the game, going through the same hell and foolishness that a lot of other people are going through, dealing with the same foolishness. Going on expedition with friends and so on and so forth. Like, I've played almost 1,400 hours in this game. Okay, just to put some things into perspective, 1,400 hours. And so when someone just simply says, "Give me your save," can I have your save? Upload your save. The reason why it's insulting is literally because it's just like, bro, you're just you would prefer to just copy and paste as opposed to giving what I'm trying to provide you a try. You know, like simply uploading my save defeats the whole purpose of all the videos that I release. Like, I wouldn't have no reason to release any kind of content if I just simply gave you guys my save. So, will I upload my save? No, I'm not going to upload my save. Please, I would appreciate it if you would stop asking me to upload my save. Um, if I decide to, and that's a really big if, it's going to be sometime when I'm just not, I don't know when. I'm not going to put a timestamp on it. I'm going to just say that if it does happen, you all will be the first to know about it. But at the right now, as this video is being recorded, no, I'm not gonna upload my save. Please, I would appreciate it if y'all would stop asking me for my save. Moving on. How do you modify your equipment? All my modifications, everything that you see in my build showcases is done with Save Wizard Advanced Mode. I know that there's some other save editors out there. I know that people have, can make quick codes and stuff like that. I'm neither. I don't have any other save editor, and I don't know how to make quick codes. Everything I do is with advanced mode. Why do I use advanced mode as opposed to a quick code generator or anything of the sort? It's simply because um for me it's just more efficient. For me it's more convenient. For me, I feel like I have more control over my save as opposed to being at the mercy of a quick code generator. Um yeah, so that's it. All my builds are made with advanced mode. Um So, hopefully that answers that question. And the final one is actually, it's not about the quick code generator, it's about pinned messages. Um, I have a lot of you who are asking me, hey, um, where's this in the Discord? Where's that? Where's this? All of the important messages that have been pinned are in that Discord. If you're using a cellular device, all you need to do is swipe right, look up, you'll see a pin. Tap that pin and you'll see everything from the quick code generator by one of the members of the Discord. You'll see the hex item sheet that comes packed with a really, quick tutorial on how to modify your equipment. And then you also have the item sheet that has all of the special effects in the game, including the ones that were just released for DLC 3. Okay? So there's that. Um, I also want to mention that there is a quick code generator in the Nioh 2 Discord. I'm not going to say his name simply because I haven't asked for formal permission to mention him in my video, but I will simply say that the individual who created the generator is an awesome person because one, he keeps the generator up to date. Two, it's free. Okay? It's free 99. You ain't got to pay for it. It's a passion of his. It's a service that he's providing for folks, and it's freaking awesome. Um, we live in a world where everything everything is a commodity, and so when you come across an individual who's willing to give stuff out for free, it's very nice. And so with that being said, hop into the Discord. Um, You'll know exactly who it is as soon as you hop in there, who the person who created the generator is, because everybody knows and loves this person. And like I said, the individual who created the generator is constantly updating it, constantly, streamlining it, constantly, answering questions, comments, concerns that people may have. He's available almost all the time. And when I say almost, I think the only time he's not available is when he's either, is when he's asleep. Okay? So yeah, there's a quick code generator. Again, it's in the pinned messages. All you got to do, swipe right, look up, hit the pin. Everything's there for you, okay? In the Save Wizard Nioh 2 Discord. I will make sure to drop a link to the Discord in the description box below, okay? Um, Now, with all that out the way, let's go ahead and get into this showcase. Now, I'm gonna demonstrate. I'm gonna showcase. Here's my this is my go-to build. This is my Amino Sasano build that I use pretty much exclusively. Um, it's a purity build. As far as elements are concerned, purity and corruption, as far as as far as I'm concerned, are god tier. Um, I'll say water's god tier as well because of the defense down that happens once you apply it, and the fact that it's not a lot of enemies who are um, resistant to water. So that's also god tier as well. Uh, as far as what's on the build, I'll go ahead and just do it real quick, and then I'll break down everything here in just a few moments. Okay, so we'll start with the items first. Okay, because I get that question sometimes too, like what items do I use? Elixir and herbal remedy, pretty straightforward. Just use it to heal myself. Nothing crazy there. Dodge and sake. That is something that you need to have on all of your loadouts. The reason why is because, as you can see here, it says temporarily preventing elemental-based ailments. Now, temporarily is an understatement. The the protection that you get from the sake lasts a pretty long time. Not nothing crazy, but still a substantial amount of time, especially if you're about to just do like a boss fight. It lasts long enough it lasts long enough for a boss fight, okay? So what does it do? Basically, you don't have to worry about being on fire, being drenched in water, or being slowed down by lightning anymore once you drink this sake. You have to drink the sake. If you don't drink the sake, then you're going to be affected by those ailments, and then, of course, you already know all that annoying stuff comes with it, like damage over time, lowered defenses, and then slowed down as well. Always, always, always have dodge and sake in your loadout. Sacred Ash is another must-have for me personally. This one helps neutralize all abnormal statuses. That's paralysis, poison, fire, water, thunder, ailments. Doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what it is. Use that, it gets rid of it. Also, the reason why I have it is because the Carnage Talisman. As everyone knows, when you use the Carnage Talisman, you get the defense. You get a defense debuff, right? Well, not sure if you guys noticed in my videos, and not sure if you guys noticed, period, but Carnage Talisman with the Sacred Ash removes that defense down buff. Removes the defense down, but you still keep that crazy ass damage buff from the Carnage Talisman. So yeah, neat trick. Carnage Talisman, Sacred Ash, boom. Hella damage, no defense debuff. Alright. Now, as far as steel barrier, rejuvenation, and protection, all this is just a security blanket, for lack of a better word. I have that there just for the sake of saying it's there, just in case I need it. I typically only use the barrier and the rejuvenation talisman. Again, just as a security blanket. Honestly, for the way these builds are set up, it's not necessary at all. But I just like to have it there. I don't know what other Nioh I could use, but those are my those are my four favorite ones. I just feel happy when they're there. Quick change, Tiger Scroll, pretty self-explanatory. No need to explain what those are. If you need explanation behind why I have those on there, you probably need to consider playing a different game. Just saying. Levitation Scroll. Levitation Scroll is good. It's a situational scroll. I use it because I hate being muddied down by poison goop or water or whatever the case is. I can't stand it. So I have Levitation Scroll for situational purposes. It's not necessary. You can use something else if you want to, but that's what I got it there for. Last Gambit Pill. Last Gambit Pill is absolutely essential to make this entire build work. I'll explain why here in just a few moments. But yeah, last Gambit Pill, you definitely want that on your setup. It gives you a 50% bonus, but it does put you in critical status. But when you're in critical status, something cool happens, and I'll explain here in just a moment. Again, like I said, Carnage Talisman, Dried Peppo Meat, that is literally there because I like DPS. I like big numbers, and I like to see my enemies die really, really fast. So that's why I have those on there. As far as my Guardian Spirit and the Soul Cores are concerned, so Haya gives you a 1.2% multiplier to your attack, and these three Soul Cores, Kamatachi, Magatsu, and Yasha, have the highest base attack of any Soul Core in the game. Okay, that's 600 points of attack times 1.2%. You get 720 damage added to your melee weapon. Okay, so that's why I have it on there. Also, the fact that you get 100% nullify confusion is also a pretty good bonus as well. Key recovery bonus and reader gauge is pretty dope, and then counter yokai taxes is also pretty nice too. Elemental damage taken minus 10%. Who doesn't want elemental damage taken negative? I do. So I don't know about y'all, but I like that. Okay, so there's that. Okay, cool. All right, so let's give you a quick breakdown of the special effects. Now, um, melee attack key consumption, dodge key consumption, dash key consumption. My dash key is at 50%. My dodge key is at 60%. My melee attack key is at 65% reduction. I could easily bring all three of those values up to 100%, but there's no point. The reason why there's no point is because those slots would be better utilized for more attack power or more defense, depending on the situation, depending on the build, depending on what it is that you're trying to do. Anything past 65% in all sincerity, and I say this with complete and total confidence, is overkill, okay? And the reason why is because, like I said before, the way it's set up, it's from 65% up to 100%. Obviously you'll notice it at 100% that, you're not using up any of your ki when you're doing those three things. When you're attacking, dodging, or dashing, you're not going to use it up at 100%. But between 65% and 99%, I wouldn't say it's negligible. I'd be lying if I said it's negligible. But it's enough to where you're like, you know what? I really don't need that much melee attack key consumption or that much dodge or dash key consumption. So yeah, 65% melee attack, 60% dodge, 50% dash, you're good to go. Like I said, you could go higher if you want to, but again, that's all personal preference, okay? 223% melee damage critical, 380% melee damage versus purified enemy, damage bonus ninjutsu AAA plus, and then special effects. I'll talk about that in a second. Damage bonus ninjutsu AAA plus, damage taken critical 68.7%, and then what is it? Key recovery speed 56% in critical as well. Okay. Then of course versatility, Death Dancer, dodge range up. Mystic Dyad Kusarigama, as far as I'm concerned, is the best Mystic Dyad out of all of the Mystic Dyads. The reason being is because you get a damage bonus to both your sickle and your weight when you're using Mystic Dyad Kusarigama. And for instance, with an attack like Renegade Dragon, where you use the entirety of the Kusarigama, that right there makes the damage ridiculous. Okay, so yeah, Mystic Dyad Kusarigama, hashtag Kusgod. That's what you want. Okay, Path of the Ruthless, more damage, you take more damage. That's literally what it is. You do more damage, but you take more damage. But who cares? Deeps, right? It's all about the DPS. That's what you want it to be. That's what it needs to be. And that's it. DPS. Deeps. Okay, cool. Now, I'm sure you noticed that I have an effect here, special effect critical. Now, what is that exactly? Essentially what it does is it amplifies the special effects that activate when you're in critical state. So what does that mean? Okay, so for example, I have melee damage critical at 223%. With that 54% buff, that 223% is now 343%. Okay? Damage taken critical at 68.7%. With the 54% special effects critical buff, that brings me up to 100%, over 100% damage taken critical. Okay? And then key recovery speed is sitting at 56% at the moment. Again, 54%, the special effects critical brings that 56% up to over 80%, almost 90% key recovery key recovery speed when in critical status. Now, the reason why I'm focusing so much excuse me, the reason why I'm focusing so much on critical status is because of the last Gambit pill. Now, what does this pill do? If you know, then you know. But just in case you don't, essentially what this pill does is it automatically puts you in critical status. But the cool part about it is the fact that it keeps you in critical status. See, the issue with anything critical prior to the release of the last Gambit pill was the fact that, depending on how you had your build set up, you didn't stay in critical, right? And so what will happen is like, for example, you know, let's see, let me do quick. So right now my life is at 63, 66, right? So if I put myself at 30% of that would be, let me see, would be 1,909 HP, right? So at 1,909 HP, I'm in critical status. If I went to 1,910 or 1,911, and again, I'm just spitballing here. I'm pretty sure it might be a couple points more, but you know, for the sake of conversation, we'll just say if I'm 1 or 2 points above that threshold, I'm no longer in critical status. What does that mean? Now what happens is, because these enemies in Dream of the Neo hit like nukes now, if I go 1 or 2 points past critical, I have now put myself in a position where I can get one-shotted just like that, okay? So essentially, using any of the critical um, buffs was kind of like pointless because it was no way to truly control staying in critical status, right? That is until, as I mentioned before, the release of the last Gambit pill. The last Gambit pill locks you in critical status. And with 200 dexterity, and I say this just because of, just based on my testing, I have not tested the duration of this effect with other builds that don't have 200 dexterity, but because at the moment I'm not sure if the duration is affected by ninjutsu power, but at 200 dexterity, my last Gambit pill lasts like 3 minutes, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. It's over 3 minutes, okay? Which is more than enough time to decimate everything that moves in the game, okay? So that is essentially why I have last Gambit pill, why I have so many critical statuses, critical effects on my build, because literally it just makes the most sense to do it. You'll notice I don't have no active skill, anything on my build, and the reason being is because melee damage is a global. Melee damage um, is a global buff. Essentially, that affects quick attack, high attack, mid attack. It affects low attack, high attack. It affects everything. It amplifies all the attack power, regardless of what it is that you're doing. If it's active skill or not, doesn't matter. Melee damage is the best option. Okay, so that's this is my ninjutsu heavy build. Also, you'll also notice that I have damage bonus ninjutsu power AAA plus. Now the reason being is because as it stands, my ninjutsu power is at 702. That is, excuse me, sorry about the cough. That is 702 ninjutsu power with 0 ninjutsu buffs. I have nothing on my build that amplifies my ninjutsu power outside of the 200 points in dexterity and the 60 points you get from your prestiges. Okay, I'll show you really quick. Boom, there it is. All right. Now, I have a second build that I want to show you guys really quick, and that is my katana builds. Now, when I say katanas, I'm specifically speaking about the the katana, the dual swords, and the odachi. When I say katanas, I'm talking about those 3 weapons in particular. Okay, so with that being said, let me show you the build really quick. Okay. All right. So let's look at the special effects. Same deal. Melee attack key consumption, dodge key, and dash key. Same values 65, 60, 50. I don't need to go higher than that. And like I said before, anything past that is kind of overkill. Now, let's talk about the critical statuses for a moment. Melee damage critical is at 193%. Why is it 30% less than my previous build? Well, the reason is because for some weird reason, I don't know if this was by design or by accident, but the katanas, and again, I'm going to say it one more time, katanas meaning the katana, the dual swords, and the odachi. That's what I'm talking about when I say katanas, because they're all katanas. I know, this, technically speaking, they're all different, but for the sake of this video, we're just gonna, generalize them as katanas. Okay, cool. All right. So as far as the katanas are concerned, for some weird reason, not sure if it's by design or simply just by accident, these three weapon types don't have Indomitable Spirit, which gives you a 30% buff which give you 30% key damage recovery in critical state. Cornered Boar, which gives you a 30% melee damage taken critical, and a Cornered Tiger, which gives you 30% melee damage when critical. Okay, for some reason they don't have those three weapons don't have those three skills. I don't know why, but hey, it is what it is. Does it take away from the damage output of these weapons? Absolutely not. Especially the Odachi. I don't know. Again, I personally I believe that it was by design because the Odachi, how much damage it does, it's stupid. It makes no sense how much damage that weapon does. But yeah, I digress. Like I said, it doesn't have those three skills, which is why those values are going to be lower by 30%. Okay, so melee damage critical 193%. Melee damage versus purified enemy 380%. 380% melee damage versus purified is going to be across all of my builds on all the weapons, from the katana all the way to the fists. 380%. The only one that has less than 380 is the tonfa because of the tonfa gun. Um, Essentially, I had to sacrifice some melee damage in order to add the tonfa gun, which the tonfa gun alone is well worth the sacrifice. Okay. Again, as you can see, special effects 54%. Now, what does that do for my melee damage, damage taken, and so on? So, 193%. Oh, excuse me. Let's see. 54%. So with the 54% special effects buff, it brings my melee damage critical up to 297, almost 300%. Freaking sick, as far as I'm concerned. Um, Damage taken critical, that brings it, damage taken critical is at 64.5%. With the 54% buff, that brings me to 99% damage reduction. I mean, you can cut hairs if you want to and say that you really want 100% damage reduction. That's up to you. I don't care. 99% is just as good, okay? And then key recovery is going to be with the katanas, with the three katana weapons, is 26%. So at 26%, that puts me at 40% key recovery in critical status. Now, again, all this happens because of one particular item, and that is the last Gambit pill. Um, Really quick, the item loadout is exactly the same as the previous build. It's no different. And again, the last Gambit pill is the highlight of this entire setup. Can you still do hella damage without the last Gambit pill? Absolutely, you can. Um, this setup is not dependent on the last Gambit pill, but if you want to see those beautiful deeps, if you want to see those beautiful numbers flash across your screen of 50,000, 60,000, 100,000, etc., etc., you definitely want your last Gambit pill. Okay. All right. So that's that build in its entirety. Again, like I said, I run the same setup on all of my builds. Okay. All of the Katana builds. Now, one thing you will notice from these builds versus a few of my previous builds is the attack bonus plus value. Now, essentially, and I'm pretty sure it's a lot higher now than what it was at plus 99, but um essentially what that does is it gives you almost double, maybe even triple the attack plus 78 to your overall raw. Okay. That's why I'm sitting at almost 12,000 K attack power on my sword, on my dual swords, etc., etc. It's literally because of attack bonus plus value. Now, one thing you have to keep in mind, you can only affix that special effect to your melee weapons, to your armor, and to your accessories. You can't put it on the scrolls, you can't put it on the ranged weapons, you can't put it on the soul cores. If you do, you're just wasting slots because it's not going to work. Don't know why. Don't know if there's some secret way to do it as far as the magnitude and the footers in advanced mode are concerned, but based on my tests, it doesn't work. So there's just no point in trying to even put it on there, okay? Excuse me for a second. Okay, so yeah, attack bonus plus value, you definitely want that on your build. That is something that I've put on all of my builds because again, like I said, actually, you know what? Now that we're sitting here, let me take a moment to see exactly how much. So 11,946 is my current attack power, correct? So I'm going to go ahead and take off this piece of armor. 11,706. So each stack of attack bonus plus value gives you an extra 240% raw. Okay? So that is literally 3 times the attack value plus 78. Literally 3 times. Okay? 3 times. So yeah, you definitely want attack bonus plus value on your build. Okay? Again, it only goes on your melee weapons, armor, and accessories. Don't bother putting it anywhere else. It's not going to work. Okay? So that is the katana builds. Now I'm going to showcase an elemental build. Um, but I will, real quick disclaimer, it is not complete. I do have to make some adjustments, and I think as I talk about the build, I'll go ahead and explain which adjustments I plan on making. Um, where is it? Here it is. All right, so here is my water build, for lack of a better word. Kusarigama fists. Actually, you know what? I'll just be quiet for a second and let you guys take a look. Picture scroll, it's going to be this one right here. So you'll notice that the soul cores are all regular. The reason being is because, again, like I said, I need to fix the build. I need to fix these soul cores to, yeah, look different than what it is that you see on screen. So, um, more than likely what I'm probably going to put on the soul cores, obviously on slot 6 and 7 melee damage. Slots 5, 6, and 7 are definitely all going to have melee damage versus saturated enemy for sure. More than likely, I'm gonna have to do some saturation accumulation, some attack, some melee damage, critical, a couple other things. Um, they're essentially what I plan on making my soul core, my water soul cores look like my purity soul cores. Okay, so literally what you see on these soul cores is exactly what I plan on putting on those as well. I'm still debating on whether or not I plan on using the exact same soul cores and the exact same guardian spirit, so Haya, to get that attack buff, as opposed to using it Isanagami, um simply because of the, you know, I trade off melee damage versus saturated enemy 15% and the 1.07 attack multiplier for a 1.2 attack multiplier and a lot more attack power. Um, so I think it's a pretty good trade-off. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and switch to the Sahaya. Um, as you can see here, I got active skill damage and all over the place, life drain skill. All this stuff is gonna get changed. So I plan on definitely dropping a video later today, uh, which showcases the updated version of this build. Out of the three elemental builds, water and lightning are by far my favorite. I know for a fact that we have been given access to uh, a water and lightning, um, what's that thing called? Special effect. Uh, Thanks in part to Otakamaru's new dual swords. And I know for a fact that if you put that on the Kusarigama, you can get both of the effects to work. So I'm definitely planning on playing around with that a little bit today at some point to figure out what I can cook up. And like I said, stay tuned for a video later today. I'm not gonna bother showing you guys the special effects because honestly, like I said, this build is incomplete. Um, and there's some things I need to make. You know, there's some changes I definitely need to make to this build to make it more better. Um, but yeah, so with that being said, folks, before I go, like I said earlier in the video, I just want to thank you guys so much for all of your support. Um, as I said before, you know, considering the fact that I just started this channel, I mean, I've had the channel in my possession for a long time, but I didn't start really pushing for, subs, and I didn't start really making content until literally just October of last year, give or take. Um, and so far, I've been thoroughly surprised with all the support that I've received. Um, I consider all of my subscribers a blessing. I consider all of these views a blessing, and I can only hope that we can, the channel continues to grow. Like I said, February 7th was around the corner, but I really, 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 really feel confident that we can get to 1,000 subs by then. Um, I'm gonna need y'all's help, and like I said, it's gonna take a lot of work, but I feel like we can make it happen. So, with that being said, I'm not gonna talk y'all's ears off. Once again, thank you all so much for the support. And again, if you like my content, please subscribe. Please drop a like. Um, and if you guys got any questions, comments, concerns, you already know what it is. With that being said, y'all have yourselves a wonderful day. Casa out.